we have with us tonight to introduce Ben and his crew, a gentleman from the mayor's office. Matt Curtis is with Economic Development in the mayor's office in the mayor's city of Austin. So without any hesitation, I'll have Matt come up and introduce what's going to go on.
Thank you, folks. Thank you, Neil. So, folks, as Neil said, my name is Matt Curtis. I'm with the Mayor's Economic Development Working Group. We oversee all the work on having the strong, healthy, vibrant economy that we have here in Austin. And that includes, of course, our fishing economy, right? You guys bring a lot of money to our town, and we sure do appreciate y'all for it. So thank you very much for coming and spending some dough. They probably have you guys plugged in down at City Hall to make sure you don't get any tickets in the future after what happened this weekend. That's the way we operate here. Y'all are very important to us, so thank you very much. Usually the mayor would be here for an event like this, but he is 73 years old, and I was explaining to Neil, if he had an event at 5:30 in the morning, he would probably be there fresh as a daisy, but he's not a late night guy. But he sure does start working on a car pretty early in the morning. So usually he would be here to welcome you all to the Wyndham Woodward Conference Center in Austin, Texas. So welcome. We're very excited to have you all here. And you know, having the Carp Anglers group and the Austin Team Championship here means a lot to us, and we really do appreciate y'all for it. Neil asked, how many people saw that video about Carpy, the giant carp in Lady Bird Lake? A lot of you did. Good, good, great. So the mayor's in that video, obviously, if you remember, and he kind of recalls what he saw when he was down by Lady Bird Lake, having been a native-born Austinite and grown up around here. You know, he's seen a lot of stuff over time. He's seen Austin change a lot over time. You know, Austin's grown a lot in a short amount of time. But seeing that giant carp did a whole lot to him. And he wrote up a couple of notes and helped me kind of write up a little bit of the history of Carpy and the giant carp in Lady Bird Lake. And I thought I'd tell you all a little bit about it. Can y'all hear me okay in the back? Great.
Have you asked him if anybody's ever seen it?
I did, and I just got a whole lot of hands. Thanks.
No.
I mean, the actual.
Oh, that's a good question. You guys are the ones out on the lake all the time. Has anybody ever seen the gigantic carp, the 15, 16, 18-foot carp that's always being reported? Maybe bigger? Well, let me tell y'all, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure you will someday. Y'all know that island down there? There's that point, I call it Norwegian Point. It's out down near the dam. It looked like that's where those two young people may have caught that fish. That's what that looked like. But anyway, that's where I thought I had seen it. No, Cynthia saw it over by City Hall. Well, let me tell you, once upon a time, in 1989, just upstream from where the mighty Colorado River empties into the Gulf of Mexico, an expert team of biologists led by the Environmental Protection Agency and the Texas Wildlife Commission, they noticed a strange activity taking place near the South Texas nuclear plant cooling pond. Well, in particular, it was noted that the smallmouth buffalo and the common carp and the alligator gar were crossing over in a real frenzy-type manner. So much so that a document was put out where an expert biology team leader said, he was a guy named Mr. Lester B. Warren of Matagorda County, Texas. He said, it was like a big old fish orgy out there in that nuclear cooling pond. Those fish were fooling around and messing with each other, and they were having a real good time in that warm water. Well, what do you know? Eventually, that warm water became known as the Sodom and Gomorrah of fish hatcheries. And there spawned a whole new species of gigantic carp. This was huge, huge carp, and it became known as Carpiobubalus maximus, otherwise known as Carpy. In 2007, as a result of the carpers that have been paying attention to Lady Bird Lake, we realized this is an important fishery here in Austin, Texas, and in 2008, we began managing this lake as a first trophy carp fishery in Texas. Well, then in 2009, Mayor Lee Leffenwell was forced to issue a red flag warning on Lady Bird Lake. He had to tell folks, no swimming, no wading in the lake, because of reports of this gigantic carp, 18, 20-foot long carp. The Carpy, the giant Goliath fish, had scared so many Austinites that we had to put a warning out for young kids and for the elderly. Well, several Austinites reported seeing this firsthand. It was on the news, and of course eventually got compiled into that piece that you guys saw on YouTube. And this is the story of the giant fish. This is the story of carping.
Okay. Steve Mike. All right, y'all. I don't know if y'all seen this carp, but I'm telling you, he's out there, and we've done a lot of research with the mayor's office being so supportive and everything. I just tried to, I'm a songwriter, and I don't know if you saw me in the beginning of this video, but we've all seen this thing, and the only way I know how to express what I saw is in a song, and that song entails everybody else that I know that's been involved in also experiencing seeing this carp. So we're going to let's see if I can get over. So we're going to try to explain our experiences to you, and it goes a little something like this. If I had a Sharpie for every time I saw carping, I'd write down everything I saw. I'd run home and tell my pa I'd take the picture if I could. I'd be knocking on wood. Tell him, Jim.
Well, it's an honor to be here. And I'm a professional photographer here in Austin. And I've taken the skyline of Austin since 1990. And a night kind of like tonight, it was clear, the full moon, and I had my tripod set up in Lady Bird Lake. And it was about 2 feet of water. And I was getting it all lined up to get the perfect shot. And all of a sudden, bam! Something hit me on my thigh. And I was startled. And I jumped out of the water. And I looked. And that fish's head must have been that big.
I know.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And he knocked my tripod down. I would have gotten a picture of it, but my camera was in the water. But Ben, I know what I saw.
Okay, y'all. He knows what he saw. That Nessie'll drop your jaw. Long gone are the beavers and the otters. Don't drop your camera in the water. Make no mistake, if you're eating your lunch on Lady Bird Lake, Carpy's favorite food is chicken fried steak. Tell him, Cynthia.
I'm gonna. Good evening, anglers, and thanks for having us here tonight. It's kind of a miracle that I'm here at all. For one thing, I'm scared to death of public speaking, but my near-death brush with old Carpy while I was out rowing on Lady Bird Lake has compelled me to come here tonight to tell you, you've got to be careful out there. He's out there, and he has eyes as big as fried eggs, and he's got a blood-chilling stare. And he's got these creepy little whiskery things that are hanging off his ugly fish face. It's ugly. I mean, it's. I mean, I was scared to death, and he was longer than my boat, and I thought I was a goner. I thought I was a goner.
And you're a very experienced rower.
I'm
right?
a very experienced rower.
Every day.
Yeah, but so listen, people. You've got to listen to me. He's out there, and if I can save just one life, it'll be worth it to me. Okay? I did what I can.
Yeah.
They won't listen to me. They won't.
Angels fear a trick where fools tend to go, but going is knowing. He T-boned her boat while she was rowing.
That's what I'm saying.
I was fishing there all night. Barely even got a bite. Till all of a sudden my rod pod, it flew like a kite. Tell him, Mike.
Carp Anglers group, I'm not a carp fisherman. I have spent some time fishing bass and perch in Lady Bird Lake. I go out there often, and I like to be there early in the morning, and that's when I saw carpy. I was in my little boat right about where Barton Creek runs into Lady Bird Lake. Some of you guys were probably fishing close by. At this time, there was a pecan tree that had blown into the lake, and I was under the limbs of that pecan tree perch fishing. Sunday morning, peaceful, beautiful. A squirrel runs down the trunk of this pecan tree right to the edge of the water, and he picked up a pecan. And he was standing there eating that pecan, little pieces of shell falling in the water. I was just enjoying the sight, and all of a sudden, here comes carpy out of the water, over the log, grabs the squirrel, back in the water. Carpy was bigger than my boat. I believe I could have sat in his mouth.
Y'all hadn't seen him?
So he grabs the squirrel and goes back in the water, and the fight is on. And I'm telling you what, I saw splashing and a thrashing. I saw biting and fighting. I saw squirrel tails, fish tails. I could not believe the spectacle, and suddenly it was over as fast as it started. The water went calm, and I was sitting in my boat, afraid and in shock, and I didn't know what to think. And then Carpy's head came out of the water again, and he put another pecan on that log right by his edge of the water.
On behalf of the Carp Anglers Group and the Austin Team Championship, this is a true story.
Cross my heart.
Thank you.
Ben needs to get back now. His room at the sanitarium.